Hey, David, thank you. He is in the race of his life. Senator One Cochran facing his first real challenge in more than 40 years. Tonight, in a 16 WABT exclusive case files, he talked to Bert Case about the race, the scandals, and what he needs to do to beat Chris McDaniel.
Mississippi's congressman for more than 4 decades is in a nail-biter of a runoff with Tea Party-backed State Senator Chris McDaniel.
Did it shock you when you didn't come in first?
No, I wasn't shocked. I knew it was going to be a close race. Others were spending a lot of money. You had a lot of organized groups coming in and trying to help candidates. And in an election, you just can't predict how the votes are going until they're counted.
Do you have an estimate about what it will cost now to win and go ahead and win in November?
Apparently a lot. The other side is spending a lot of money. I'm not going to let them buy the election.
This race between Cochran and his opponent, Chris McDaniel, has been called the nastiest race in America by the Washington Post. When we sat down, I asked Senator Cochran point blank about the 2 scandals that have stolen the headlines before and even after the primary election.
As Haley Barber has put it, the people who work for your opponent have found themselves on the wrong side of doors several times in this campaign. What impact has it had, taking the pictures of your wife Rose in the nursing home, and now what's happened in the Hinds County Courthouse, where we had McDaniel supporters locked in the Hinds County Courthouse?
Yeah, well, it really is suspicious. It raises suspicions as to what's going on and what the efforts were. It was really a sad experience for me. I couldn't understand why they would want to be disturbing Rose as she is in a nursing home and has been for several years now. So it was bizarre. That's all I can say.
Anything else you'd like to add, Senator?
No, we're going to move forward, though, and try to do the best we can to reflect credit on our state and the way we serve them in the United States Senate.
Some opponents have scrutinized Cochran's trips with longtime aide Kay Weber.
She's on my staff because she's an outstanding member of my staff and helps solve problems that Mississippians bring to our attention.
When she travels with you, as she has, I understand, who pays for that?
She travels at the invitation of the member of Congress who's authorized to organize the trip. But other members of Congress will approve her when she is invited to go on a trip as being an unnecessary and valuable member of the staff team that accompanies the senators or congressmen.
In the news, pundits say there may be thousands of votes on the table if Democrats become a part of the GOP runoff.
Democrats can now vote for you if they didn't vote in the Democratic primary, in the first primary. Do you invite Democrats to come over and vote for you?
Yeah, my arms are open and welcoming, and we hope that they will join our campaign and go vote on Election Day or by absentee ballot. We have that privilege for people who are going to be out on work assignments or the like. So we need a big turnout.
Senator, my colleague asked you early on about the Tea Party. You made national news by saying you didn't know much about the Tea Party.
The Tea Party, is something I don't really know a lot about.
Have you learned something about it now?
They're a formidable political force, and they deserve respect and recognition for the contribution they're making.
But he's tried to paint you as an old, out-of-touch individual who doesn't represent Mississippi. What's your response to that?
Well, certainly I'm older as we all get older. But we also gain experience. I have, certainly, and have benefited from a lot of the experiences of serving in Washington, representing our state.
Are there other principal differences between you and McDaniel?
Well, of course there are. There's some dramatic differences. He has no experience whatsoever serving in Congress. He has no experience in dealing with the challenges of representing Mississippi's interests during military buildups and military engagements. I'm serving on the Defense Appropriations Subcommittee that helps decide the exact dollar amounts that are appropriated by Congress for our nation's defense.
Senator, would you debate Chris McDaniel on WAPT.
Well, first of all, I'm not running to be a member of a debate team. I'm running for a vacancy that's going to exist in the United States Senate at the end of this year. And that's what I'm trying to do, is get elected to serve in the U.S. Senate.
So you won't debate him?
I said I'm not running to be a member of the debate team. I'm running for the United States Senate. I'll debate in Washington on the floor of the Senate and in the Appropriations Committee for Mississippi's interests. And that's what I'm running to achieve, not to have some made-up, hokey, high school-looking debate when there's nothing to debate.
That was, of course, 16 WAPT's Burt Case. Another note we should mention, some of Thad Cochran's opponents have questioned where he lives, saying it's a house in Washington. But this week, when Burt did that interview, we met the incumbent senator at what he calls his permanent residence in Mississippi. It's a home just south of Oxford on a pond. Our Commitment 2014 coverage continues in this neck-and-neck runoff. We've already begun preparations with State Senator Chris McDaniel's campaign for our one-on-one interview with him. That is coming up later this week. But while Cochran gave his first in-depth interview this week, the McDaniel campaign announced another big-name political endorsement.